you are a reseller, a small business owner, or somebody who's trying to get their brand off the ground, this video is for you. I know it has been a minute, but we are back again with our next YouTube video. This is going to be the 5 top ways to brand yourself here at the end going through 2023. Now, before we dive into those 5 ways, I do want to kind of catch you guys up on what's been going on with us. I know it's been a minute. As you can see behind me, the store has completely changed. We have gone through a lot here in the last couple months. We have done a complete rebrand, complete name change of the store, and it's because we honestly we kind of got in trouble with the NFL. We got hit with a cease and desist. Our original Instagram got deleted and we couldn't recover that name or make a backup one with that name, so we decided to rebrand and go through a complete rebrand. We were previously Archives, but now we are Collect Jacks. A lot of things have been going down in the last couple months. I'm sorry we've been away, but we are now here, back, ready for action, and here to give you guys some good information on how to rebrand yourself. Because we just went through a rebrand, we thought there was no better time than to make this video than right now. We have implemented all of these 5 steps to make sure that we get right back on track, and I mean, honestly, here in the last couple months, we're almost at the same point that we were with Archives here with the new brand. And I mean, we were down bad. People thought we closed. People thought we were gone, shut down. Instagram, couldn't find the Instagram, couldn't get in contact with us. But now we are back. We have built up a consistent following again. And the ones that followed us from the jump still believed in what we were doing because we had the same mission statement and the same core values here with Collect as we did with Archives. All right, now let's get into what you guys are all here for. And it's the top 5 ways to brand yourself as a small business, as a reseller, or whatever it is that you do. These are the top 5 ways. The number one thing, and this is the first step of any type of branding, is your name and your logo. You need to find a name that fits with your niche or whatever you are doing, and your logo needs to be consistent with an aesthetic that also speaks to that niche as well. So for us, I mean, we were on a 2-month period where we were so attached to the name Archives that we just could not let it go. We thought it was perfect, and we just brainstormed idea after idea for a name for about 2 months. One day, randomly, I was on Pinterest and I just kept seeing things about collections and collecting this and collect that, whatever. And I was like, you know what? In the vintage industry and the sneaker industry, I mean, what do? People are collectors. They are avid collectors of the pieces that they buy and that they're interested in. Here we have a whole store full of things that you can purchase to collect. So that's why we went with the name Collect. And now, honestly, about 3 months removed from the actual rebrand, I honestly like it better than Archives. Now, number 2 part, the second part of this is the logo. We wanted to make sure that our logo was official and matched our name, like, completely. We wanted it clean cut, we wanted it modern, we wanted it contemporary, and we didn't do it ourselves. We actually sought out outside help for this. We worked with the graphic designer for the Jacksonville Jaguars to help make our logos. What he did, he cooked up the logos and he sent us about 5 or 6 logos that we can choose from. And we thought at this point we needed to get the community involved as much as possible. So we honestly did a poll on our social media, on our Instagram, to let our followers and the people who have supported us choose the logo. That way they feel a part of the brand and they feel that they were involved in the decision process of making Collect what it is. So we let them choose. Now, we still do use all 4 logos for different things, whether it's YouTube, whether it's eBay, whether it's social media stories like Instagram stories, TikTok, whatever. So we use all 4 or 5 logos, but they got to choose our IG profile pic and our staple logo that we are using now here at Collect. So yes, your number 1 step in branding yourself is finding a logo, and well, first a name, and then a logo that matches that name and fits your niche. Make sure it is unique and it stands out, but it also matches your niche. That way it speaks to your demographic. Number 2, on this list of the top 5 ways to grow your brand is your social media presentation. So after you get your logo or your name and your logo, you need to focus on branding that name and that logo through social media. You need to be consistent with your content. Everything needs to match a certain aesthetic. All of your colorways within your logo and your name need to be presented properly through your social media, and it needs to be consistent. Meaning our logo KOLLECT, right? We do navy blue, white, and gray. Most of our social media presentations are either backgrounded those colors, white, navy, or gray, or they're featured within the products or the things that we're showcasing on our social media. The second part of this is uniqueness within your content. Anybody can sit here and do flat lays of t-shirts and take pictures of one t-shirt or one hat or one pair of shoes and just showcase it, and that's fine. That's a good way to get your product out there. That's a quick way to get your product out there. But what we do to separate ourselves is be super unique in the content that we push out and the posts and the reels that we push out on social media. One tool that I use every single day, every day, to push out content is Pinterest. Pinterest is a lifeline when it comes to unique content, and I have no shame in saying that I use it every single day to create unique content. There's certain things that you can search in regards to what you're trying to post to kind of give it a unique feel when it comes to the aesthetic that you're trying to get. Pinterest will give you ideas to showcase your products in a way that a lot of people aren't doing, or in a way that is out of the ordinary, which will stick out to the viewers in your following. For example, one search that is a staple every single time I hop on Pinterest and I'm trying to showcase clothing pieces or sneakers are sneaker product shoots or fashion product shoots. And it will show you big brands, medium brands, the most popular aesthetic that is showcased on Pinterest, so you get an idea of how to showcase your products at a different level when it comes to social media. Now, don't be scared to copy and paste ideas. What I usually do, I'll go in there and get ideas and try to put my own twist into it that matches our aesthetic with KOLLECT. But don't be scared to sit there and copy and paste someone else's idea, because it's also helping you build your brand off of something that you already know has traction, has been known to be unique within a social media platform. The last part of this is consistency within your content. You can't just post once, maybe even twice a week. You need to be consistent every single day. I would say preferably to grow the following that you want 5 or 6 times a week. We are probably at the level of 6 to 10 times a week, depending on what new products we have coming in. But you need to post consistently to stimulate your following, to make sure they know that you are still there. They can see all of the new products that you have coming in, which makes it stick out to them a little bit more. And with that, do not be afraid to engage with your following. Anytime someone comments on your pictures or your post or your reels, make sure you comment back. What that is going to do is feed into the algorithm and push you more engagement to your post. Make sure that you are responding to DMs, very on hand with your social medias, because Instagram feeds into that within the algorithm, especially Instagram Reels. We just had 3 Instagram Reels in the last week that got over 400 shares and over 10K likes. Number 3 on our list of top 5 ways to build your brand is community outreach. You want to get involved in your community as much as possible, especially with people who are in your same niche. You need to get your name out there. You need to get your brand name out there. People need to know when they think of whatever it is, candles, vintage clothing, sneakers, that you are in that business and that you are selling products within that niche. So get involved with your community. Do some pop-ups, do some markets, go talk to other stores within your area to see what they have going on, and just let them know and let it be known that you are a brand within that specific niche. You want to make sure that the events that you are attending and wanting to be a part of fit your aesthetic within your brand. If you're a candle maker, it's probably very likely that you're not going to want to go set up at a sneaker event. If you're a vintage clothing store, you're not going to want to go set up at a jewelry event. So make sure that it fits your niche and your aesthetic. For us, mostly everything that we do is involving fashion, sneakers, kind of like honestly kind of a party situation too. We go to all of the music events within our local area in Jacksonville, Florida as well, because most of the times people that are going to those events are interested in fashion, appealing themselves to the public. So make sure that the event speaks to your aesthetic and your niche as well. These events not only can be a platform for you to move product and sell things at, they're events to network. Get in touch with the right people who could help you and steer you in the right direction, especially if you're in an area that you're not familiar with or you're not familiar with the demographic. They can help you. So go to these events, not only trying to sell product, but also networking to better yourself and better your brand. All right, on to number 4 is creating a brand voice. Like I said, anybody can sit here and showcase t-shirts and showcase sneakers or whatever product they're trying to sell, but people connect to people. You need to have someone, whether it's yourself or somebody else that is involved with your brand, that may be better in front of a camera or better on social media than you, to be able to speak for that brand. For us at KOLLECT, it is me. I have 2 business partners, Keegan and Hootie. Hootie's a little bit better than Keegan, but Keegan does not like being on camera. He is not someone to put himself out there. I am perfectly fine with it. I've been doing it for a while. I played college basketball, so I always was getting interviewed. I always had a camera or a microphone in my face. I have no issue with it at all. But what this does is let people not only connect to your brand, but connect to you and start believing in you and what you are doing with your brand. So you need to have a voice of your brand. People buy from people. People aren't buying Teslas because of Tesla, they're buying into Elon Musk. People aren't buying into Apple, they were buying into Steve Jobs when he was still around. People aren't buying Nike, they're buying for the likeness of LeBron James, Ja Morant, all the other Nike athletes, Tiger Woods, everyone. So people buy from people, or buy from people who believe in that brand. Make sure you have a consistent voice for your brand, because the clothes and the products aren't gonna do enough talking, I promise you that. Lastly, number 5, and I've touched on this in our other videos, but it is so crucial to building a brand, and that's understanding your demographic within your area and on your online platforms as well. Speak to your demographics and speak to your niche, okay, within that demographic. We have put up enough content and got enough analytics back from the content that we push out that me and my partner have a full understanding who is engaging with us the most and which demographic is engaging with us the most. It's 18 through 34, male, female, both do engage with us, probably male more than females, but we have a full understanding of what our demographic is. Now, to speak to that demographic within our area of Jacksonville, Florida, we have focused on a niche product within our store, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you are born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida, 9 times out of 10, you are a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. So we put a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of marketing behind the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have a whole section in our store, Duval Classics, which showcases vintage Jacksonville Jaguars merch. We put huge emphasis on pushing content in regards to that demographic and to that niche of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we have seen nothing but benefits from it and nothing but, honestly, results and money in our pockets from doing that. Within your demographic, whatever it is, make sure you find a niche that speaks to them and is something that anybody that is from your area or borders your area can relate to. And for us, that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. We also focus in on the surrounding colleges. That's Florida State, that's Florida, that's Georgia. We're an SEC country down here, so we put a lot of focus on the surrounding colleges as well to push that type of product here, because we have a lot of fans that buy into that as well. For those of you who have a store or are interested in opening in a store, this is also a very important way to build your brand. It's creating an inviting store atmosphere. You want your store and your logos and the branding that you are putting on social media to match perfectly, in sync. The aesthetic should be the same, the colorway should be the same. You can't sit here and push out that your logos are orange and green and then you walk in your store and you have dark blues and purples everywhere. It just does not work that way. Everything needs to be cohesive as one, and we have done as much as we can to make sure that what you see on social media behind our branding and the products and the way that we push our content out matches exactly what we are doing here in the store. If you can see behind me, there's a whole bunch of navy, whole bunch of white that you can see here in the store, and that goes hand in hand with our logos and the aesthetic that we have pushed out on our content pages. To coincide with that as well, we have strategically mapped out our store to speak to our demographic. Right when you walk in the store, the first rack that you see right here is the same thing that I was just talking about that was so important to our demographic. It's the Duval Classics, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars merch. That is gonna be not unseen by anybody that walks in our store. That will be the first thing they see, is that Jacksonville Jaguars merch. So you know that we are showcasing that. It's decked out, it's got pennants, it's got old pictures, old memorabilia all around it. We wanted to showcase that section as much as possible. No other section in our store has that same type of showcasing. So make sure that you are speaking to your demographic within your store as well. Sneakers are our #1 sellers. They're right here on the walls. We have 2 huge sneaker walls as well. We get the most DMs, most comments, most responses through sneakers and the Jaguar stuff. So those are the first things that you see when you walk in the store. So make sure you are creating an inviting atmosphere, but also make sure that your store is set up for success within your demographic. Now, if you find everything that I have just spelled out here on this video to be of any help, we have a bunch of more videos back in our archives of similar information when it comes to reselling or starting a business. So if you want to learn more, go back and watch all of our old videos. We are spitting gems on growing your brand, becoming a better reseller, and making money. I mean, that's the name of the game, is making money. You build a brand to make money, you resell to make money. So go back and watch our other videos, tap in with those. These were the top 5 ways to grow your brand, whether you're a small business owner, a reseller, or somebody that's really even trying to build a personal brand. This is the 5 ways that we have found help us the most in being the brand that we are today. Stay tuned for our next video.